So hello, good morning. My name is Fatah Makra. I am a second year BPT student. I am going to explain you about the play therapy. So let us start. So what is play therapy first of all? Play therapy is a method where a trained physiotherapist uses child fantasies and symbolic meanings of play to understand and communicate with the child. A therapeutic bridge, where the child uses the play language to express their feelings, where words alone cannot convey their feelings. And symbolic communication, where through play, children reveal their inner experiences, fears, and a hopes in a safe and a non-threatening way. So, understanding play therapy. Play therapy is basically a form of counseling or psychotherapy that uses play to help the people express their feelings, what they feel inside. Especially children, it is best for the children of age group of 3 to 11 and most commonly in the young children where they have not fully developed their verbal commands or verbal processing. And self-guided healing, where child naturally expresses their feelings and their experiences through the play as a healing process. Core goals of play therapy. So first, self-concept and efficacy, where the child develops the self-control, self-concept, and sense of personal agency. And emotional awareness helps the child to be aware of about the name and process their feelings. Then behavioral skills support their learning and practicing self-control and alternative, like their behavioral skills would be also be improved. Now, building trust and connection. Play therapy creates a safe relational space where children can begin to trust. Like there should be a trust between the therapist and the children. So then and then the child will express themselves. So developing trust, child build the capacity to trust adults through the consistent and safe therapeutic relationships. So it's the responsibility of the therapist to build a safe relationship between them. Positive relating therapy nurtures the ability to relate to adults in an open, positive, and caring manner. So, the principles of play therapy, which is very important in the play therapy. So, first of all, the therapist should build warm and friendly relationship with the children. Then and then the child will be able to express his feelings. Second, the therapist should unconditionally accept whatever the child needs to say. Third, the therapist should have the sense of permissiveness, which means the therapist should give the freedom to the children to express or to say anything. Fourth, the therapist should have the ability to recognize the feelings through the play. Fifth, the therapist should respect the problem-solving capability or ability of the children and should not judge the children. Sixth, the therapist should not direct the children. Like they should not command the children to do this or to do that. The therapist should not hurry the therapy. Means the therapist should need to give the time to children to express their feelings. And last, the therapist should set only necessary limits. And the therapist's role is to hold the space, not to direct or rush this process. So basically, there are two approaches to play therapy. One is directive and one is non-directive, which approaches are based on the child's needs, developmental stage, and therapeutic goals. First one is the directive play therapy. Directive play therapy is this when the therapist takes an active participation in the play therapy by asking questions, encouraging discussion of specific topics, and participating in the activities where the child is whatever the child is playing. First one is CBT, which is the cognitive behavioral therapy, which is closely associated with the directive play therapy and which focuses on the behavior and conscious actions of the children. Second is the therapist-led exploration, where the therapist guides the session towards the specific therapeutic goals while remaining attuned to the child's responses. This also focuses on what the child is expressing. So, directed threat therapy. This is the first one in the directed play therapy, which is commonly used for the trauma victims. And this In this, the therapist engages into the sand world of the child. And first in this is therapist asks questions uh, like of why this object is being used or why this character is being used, and ask the children to elaborate it. Then suggested changes. On rare occasions, the therapist may suggest any changes in the sand tray to facilitate the therapeutic effect of healing. So the second one is the cognitive behavioral play therapy, where CBPT was developed for the children of age group of 2 to 6 who lack the cognitive maturity or traditional talk-based CBT. Play as the medium. So dolled, stuffed toys, stuffed animals and toys, model coping strategies and problem solving was developed in this play. Skilled building, and child learned effective coping mechanism and emotional regulation through guided structured play experiences. So second is the non-directive play therapy, also known as the client-centered or the unstructured play therapy, where this basically focuses on the children to lead their own healing. And the therapist does not take active participation in this play therapy, and the therapist observes and interrupts plays, drawing symbolic actions to understand unconscious beliefs and behaviors. It is especially effective for addressing behavioral problems, whatever the child is facing, and giving children a safe space to express what words cannot through play. Parent-child play therapy, or the filial therapy, was the first model where the parents were involved with the children. And in this, the parents or the caregivers are trained to facilitate a non-directive play therapy with their own children, bringing the therapeutic connection into the home environment. Common play modalities centric, where the children arrange the miniatures into the sand and express their feelings. Puppet play, where children express their feelings through the puppets. Art and crafts, where children draw and sketch or paint and express their feelings in that. Imaginative play therapy, open-ended play therapy that encourages creativity and self-experiences. So the playroom environment. This is basically for the non-directive play therapy, where the toys are selected according to the 4 categories given below, each serving a distinct therapeutic purpose. First is the scary toys. Help children comfort and process fears in safe, controlling settings. Nurturing dolls and other caregivers, which is used for the emotional bonding. Aggressive toys, allowed to show expression of anger, frustration, etc. Expressive toys, art and crafts shows the creative thinking of the children. Then the therapist becomes a trusted friend of the children, creating a safe environment for the children to explore and to express what they are, what they feel, and what they dream.